the best of Teddy Bear, the porcupine.
They're cute. They're cute. Face.
Can you share your
I like we
phone
all
with me?
sniggered at
Can
the
I
same
have
thing.
it? No.
That's actually adorable.
Is that the actual noise that they made?
I guess.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking adorable.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I already want to pet it. I already want to give it hugs.
Oh, look at him go. Look at him eat that pumpkin.
Hell yeah.
Is that good?
Num num num
Proper
num num num.
ashes. Terrifying.
Is that good?
I mean, this is really terrifying to a pumpkin. Come on, Jaden.
I was just thinking, you have like a
Pumpkins
fucking...
should fear and run for their lives.
Poor pumpkin.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, look at him! Look at him! He's so cute.
Is this the Christmas porcupine from the horror movie?
Listen to the noise he makes. It's so cute.
Look at him go.
Oh, it's his birthday.
Look at him eat. Look at him eat. He loves that corn.
And he's even got a little bottle of champagne in that sleeve. He drank most of it. That's cool.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's cut off. Cut that guy off.
I honestly, I
He's
thought
had enough.
that he looked as the bottle fell. He was like, what?
She's like, don't knock over the bottle.
That's your
Bottle
last
falls over.
piece. Better make it last.
Well, hello. This one's been a long time coming, hasn't it? The merriest of Christmases to you all. More often than not, when I first hear about a horror movie that I'm assuming is probably going to be awful, the very first thing I do is go to the IMDb and filter to only show the 10 out of 10 reviews. This is a process that has yet to fail me. Enter A Creature Was Stirring, a movie I wanted to review last year, but I didn't find out about it until the day after Christmas, meaning I either had to make a Christmas video in January like some kind of heathen, or just commit myself to working on it all throughout the year and be patient enough to wait until next December to post it. It truly is a cruel path I am destined to take.
But it's a sloth? This is
the hedgehog one.
porcupine.
Whatever.
Close enough.
Weirdly enough, they're not that different, and also weirdly enough, I don't care.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem like anyone else noticed that this movie came out either, so it's not like I'm missing out on any algorithm pushing here. And from the little bit of research I've put into it, it doesn't seem like the people who made it even give a crap about it. I found basically zero marketing for it other than the trailer and a couple interviews that some YouTubers did over a Zoom call. As of this writing, the views on those two interviews have not surpassed 200, which in and of itself is saying something because the low-effort 4-minute video I made on it has over double the engagement. So we're doing a bit of an obscure one today, but it's not like that's anything new. My channel isn't exactly known for keeping up on trends. If anything at this point, I'm just dredging up the most obscure bad things I can find and showcasing to you how I inflict them onto all of my friends and family.
And he's all like, "Hey, look, I'm Green Lantern," and then and so that you okay there, Red? so
As he weeps.
yeah.
So I'm so excited to see this. I'm so excited.
No, you're not. Don't lie.
And what better way to celebrate the holiday season than with a movie that showcases one of nature's most horrifying creations? The porcupine. From the get-go, we should take a moment to talk about the movie's lighting choices. Of course, since this is a super spooky horror movie, our characters are to avoid lamps and light switches like the plague. Additionally, we have to keep in mind that this is also a Christmas movie, so the lighting that is here is going to be primarily sourced through the lines of Christmas lights that are hung up throughout the entire house. So we get to be festive and cheery while we squint at the screen, struggling to discern what's going on. It's as if somebody looked through the script and said to the filmmakers, well, that's cool and all, but how is this a Christmas movie? And ultimately, after they failed to connect the concept of porcupines to the holiday season, they decided to replace all of the set lighting with Christmas decorations. Fair play, I suppose. All jokes aside, I'm not too terribly broken up about this. We're certainly not dealing with another Slender Man, since I can actually make out shapes in this one. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, I'll give you a point for atmospheric lighting. Which, might I say, that's a lot more than I can say about Wish Upon. Don't be getting too hot-headed or anything, though, Creature was stirring. We still have a lot of movie review left to get through.
You're right.
Welcome to Autism 2, Autism Hard.
Tense, suspenseful music. So it's tense and suspenseful. It's not one or the other.
Tenseful.
It's suspenseful.
Yes.
Oh, look at this wonderful cinematography.
I'm Zack Snyder, look at me.
I love you, Zack. Look at this long 360 shot. Look, it's out of focus. I know how to work a camera.
Speaking of Slender Man, we actually have a returning face once again. As per the running gag, I will infer it as such. Just like how Ren was taken by Slender Man and thrown into a universe with a stupid wishing demon, our dear friend Katie here was nabbed and haphazardly thrown into this weirdo reality. It's great. I can't wait to see what Hallie and Chloe are dealing with right now, too. Unfortunately, as I say that, I also see that Hallie and Chloe's actresses haven't done very many other horror movies aside from Slender Man, so yeah, it might be a while before I can make this joke again. But anyway, we're introduced to Faith and Charm, a single mother and her daughter happily preparing for a festive Christmas season.
Who names their kid Charm, by the way? If you name your child Charm, fuck you. You hate your child.
This is like some of the most forced and like not very well.
Should have named her Quill. It would have been real subtle.
At least I'm sure it can probably be inferred that way. Right off the bat, we get a pretty clear picture that Faith and Charm aren't really on the best of terms at the moment. Faith here is contemplating running off with a suitcase, and Charm's just kind of generally being bitter about everything.
I thought I saw something.
Thought I saw a porcupine out there.
It was making all those scary noises like.
Also, don't you like what she served her? Like 2 pieces of burnt toast with nothing spread on it. Just plain toast that's burnt. Yeah, eat your burnt toast with nothing on it.
Yeah.
This lady's ate a lot of toast.
I don't see what's such a big deal right now. She has a fever? Like, who cares? Oh, they're stuck in a blizzard. Boo-hoo. I walked across town in a blizzard once. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I wanted some Subway.
Yeah.
I've been lost in the Arctic Circle in a blizzard.
I think that was probably a little bit more of a big deal.
That's
probably worse
than what these people
are stuck
in. Yeah. Faith tries to keep everything on the non-hostile side by asking Charm what she's reading, wherein she reveals that she's reading a Green Lantern comic. Now bear with me here, because I assure you this is actually important to the plot. I think it is, anyway. We'll come back to it. Make sure you explain in great detail who Green Lantern is, Charm. There might be a person out there who doesn't know. It's not like this could be sufficiently summed up for the sake of the plot with, he's a superhero. Yeah, no. We're utilizing this 90-minute time slot to its fullest.
Makes things happen with his mind. Oh, his ring. But it's mostly his mind.
No, it's the ring.
Definitely mostly the ring.
Wow, fake comic book fan doesn't even know how Green Lantern works.
You're explaining this like shit. You're making Green Lantern sound like a loser. Even if his weakness is yellow.
What are you reading? How to inject your insulin.
Maybe they should write a comic about a middle-aged Louisville nurse whose pheromones cause men to lose their minds.
See, Charm, this is what you get. Do you think that she listened to a single word you said about intergalactic space police? or magic mind rings? Do you think that this conversation about Green Lantern lore is going to stay with this woman past the 15-second mark of your last sentence?
I would not believe a single thing this nurse ever told me. Like, running's good for you. Like, I don't fucking believe you, bitch.
Yeah.
So Faith decides that it's time to take Charm's temperature. This immediately annoys Charm, informing her mother that her mood doesn't affect her body heat, but Faith insists upon it all the same. Before she can look at the results of said temperature, she hears a door creaking in another room. She goes off to investigate and immediately finds a demon wandering around her house.
Those goddamn porcupines.
Ma!
Ma, the porcupines!
Porcupines got out.
Yeah. They eating all the pumpkins, Ma!
Oh, what?
Then she puts her suitcase away and leads Charm up to her room. What's that you say? You think I skimmed over something? No, dear viewer. This is actually the pacing we're working with right now. Faith saw a demon, ignored it, and now we're walking up the stairs. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll all make sense in the end.
University of Kentucky. I'm majored in porcupine science.
What's wrong with the lighting in this house?
Oh, it's the red world.
It's Christmas.
It's the red world. It's the Christmas world.
Yeah.
Following this, Faith has her daughter take a few pills before putting some headgear on her. Then she locks her in her room and puts a wreath up. Because this is a Christmas movie, don't you know? Charm does the super spooky voice and says,
"You behave out there."
And then starts having a seizure while stock sound effects of monster growls begin coming from her. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll all make sense in the end.
So is he possessed? Because that seems to be what we're... That's. I feel like he's possessed or something.
Yeah. She is possessed. That was a girl.
Oh, well, it had a male voice for a second there.
Yeah.
Whatever, I can't tell. I don't care.
That is the presenting female.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize that was the same character.
I had to play catch up a little bit too. Yeah. I'm thinking about more interesting things.
Monster date where?
Middle Ages.
Anthrax. Black Death.
What? I'm confused. What happened in this opening?
She took like an injection, I guess, for something because she's possessed by a porcupine demon. A creature was stirring.
Oh, that's what happened.
It's not a very good title. I'm just gonna put that out there.
But it's Christmassy, Tom.
Myuu.
I know it's very. It's not like a Wonderful Life Christmas title, but you know.
And that's our intro. All nice and Christmassy, as I expected. Let's take a moment to try and make sense of it, shall we? As far as cheesy horror movie preludes go, this certainly isn't the worst one I've seen. I know that's not saying much, but in terms of setup, it's clear we're going for a semi-surreal mystery type of opening. Theories abound could be swirling about. Charm is clearly afflicted with some kind of spooky, scary skeleton, and it seems to be at least somewhat connected to her body temperature. But that's all the information we really have. We can assume that the demon Faith was ignoring has something to do with it, but we have no concrete evidence either way. What could the answer to this mystery be, dear viewer? Could it be that these episodes of possession pop up when the demon is around, and thus Faith needs to actively ignore its presence lest she makes it more powerful? Apparently this has been going on long enough that precautions have been taken for it, which begs the question of how long have we been dealing with this? What are those pills Faith is making Charm take? Does that somehow mitigate or halt the possession process from reaching a certain point of no return? Possibly most intriguing of all, why did Faith put a second door in front of the bedroom door? What, you couldn't lock that one or something? You had to put in a crappy secondary door that doesn't even reach the top of the ceiling? I guess the door slot was imperative to the design of the demon enclosure, and it would have looked stupid on the main door. Fair play on that, I suppose. I also appreciate how you took the time to decorate it before your daughter started Linda Blair inside the room.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, Hal Jordan! No, not Hal Jordan! Pills and potions, she ground them in classic Christmas Carol.
I've got like my gruff, like fucking American accent from like.
Oh my god!
Peter now, Red.
She's cooking meth.
She's cooking porcupine. Jesse, the porcupine, Jesse, the porcupine.
Jesse, where's the porcupine? Oh, I don't know, Mr. White. I thought it was here.
I am the one who pings.
I am the porcupine. Fuck me.
Oh, boy.
This movie's already weird.
This movie's already paying for itself with just how we're reacting to it.
Jesse, we have to cook the porcupine.
Jesse, if we don't, the porcupine will get us.
Mr. White, I can't get the porcupine. It's too spiky, Mr. White. Jesse, find the porcupine.
Jesse, use the pumpkin armor. It's eating through it, Mr. White.
Jesse, use the pumpkin as bait, Jesse.
Another important piece of information is regarding Charm's body temperature. An average moviegoer who's barely paying attention might notice the multiple instances of 102 through 104 written behind the opening credits. The movie notes that this is considered the safe zone, which implies that Charm needs to be maintained between these two temperatures, lest she turn into a demon. That on its own is a bit on the spooky side, as that is considered a high-grade fever that would require medical attention in most cases. We can let it slide for now, considering we're working with some supernatural nonsense, but it is something to keep in mind all the same. The average body temperature is generally considered to be in the 97 to 98 range, and anything above that is usually a problem. So basically, Charm's not having a good time right now. Thankfully, we have Mom the chemist here, who's researching harpies and skull helmets for some reason, and developing strategies for keeping her daughter in a consistent high-grade fever. I'm sure we can assume she has everything under control.
So she's possessed by whatever the hell, and they're stuck in a blizzard, but she can be calmed down temporarily? What the fuck? I don't get it.
So there's like a thing, there's a thing that said that like she'll turn into the evil if her body temperature goes below 102 degrees or above 104 or something like that.
Most of these, oh, okay.
What the fuck?
Both of these bitches' over dramatic eyes are pissing me off. Their over dramatic expressions are so fucking high school drama. It's bothering me.
After the opening credits, we get a little bit of an exposition scene that unfortunately needs to be gone over. Charm is sitting in a bathtub filled with ice while her mom is plastering the wall for whatever reason.
It's time for a packing peanut bath. Those are not ice cubes, by the way.
Well, oh wow! Oh, okay. Oh my God! Look at the hand through a chest. So edgy.
Yeah, I'm Zack Snyder. Look at me.
Look at me.
I'm Zack Snyder. Look at me. I'm Zack Snyder. Yes, sirree.
Largely unimportant, however, as the main focus is their conversation. Faith inquires if Charm has started working on her graphic novel, to which Charm informs her that she hasn't got a story for it yet.
I'll come up. I should come up with a story first. Writes down porcupine.
I'll write something dark. All right, Zack Snyder.
Faith offers help in coming up with a story, and after another thing that we'll talk about at the end of all this, Charm agrees.
Hey.
Don't touch my things, Mother.
Don't touch the foreshadowing, Mother.
She tells her mother that she wants to write something dark but hopeful, and as such, she asks her mom what the worst thing she ever did was. This launches Faith into a short monologue about her past drug use and how she used to take pleasure in the corruption of innocence.
Well, look at this dialogue. What are we doing?
I know.
I enjoyed corrupting innocence. This is a very poetic way of describing drug addiction.
It's very deep. It's very deep.
Yeah, do you get it, viewer? Do you get it?
I agree, it's very deep.
You get it? It's about drugs.
I'm Zack Snyder, look at me.
I like drugs.
Look at this crucifix, I'm Zack Snyder.
I was a bad person.
Was? Not surprised.
You or the drugs?
No, don't give her an out.
The drug was sugar.
It was worse than misery. Loving company, it was chaos. Making chaos for breakfast.
Yeah, I eat that every morning.
Again, my crawl.
Also, I know this is fairly unrelated, but I have to address it again. I love how the filmmakers couldn't come up with an excuse to hang Christmas lights in the bathroom, so they just settled on lighting a bunch of random candles instead. Yeah, the ice water that Charm apparently has to sit in to prevent her from becoming a demon. Need to make sure we get the ambience right for that. Speaking on that, I know I'm not really up to speed on Faith's treatment course here, but is the implication that Charm's body temperature rose too high and thus the bath is for bringing it back down? Does that work? I don't think that works. Hold on. Yeah, so apparently that doesn't work. Grain of salt, I didn't put that much effort into the research here, but one thing I can say is that forcing your body to go between hot and cold that quickly is really bad for you. Supernatural nonsense, I know. I'm sure it'll all make sense in the end. Anyway, the two hear a commotion downstairs and Faith goes down to investigate. Upon doing so, she finds that a window has been smashed in with a rock and she hears voices coming from another room.
Oh my goodness, look at that absolutely real snow.
The porcupines broke in.
God damn it, the porcupine threw snow in the house. Just like a porcupine outside throwing snowballs, like.
Thankfully, her trusty nail bat is sitting nearby in the garage entrance, and so she promptly walks forward to grab it. There's also a demonic inhuman beast in there, but no, it's okay. We don't need to worry about that. It's fine. Faith didn't look too concerned about it, so I won't be either. It'll all make sense in the end, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, suspenseful music.
No need to acknowledge that. We can just.
No, I'll just ignore that. It's just the porcupine demon again.
But I love suspenseful music.
But now we have our intruders to be introduced to. They have a short bit of dialogue that doesn't mean anything, and then Faith attacks them with her Dead Rising 2 combo weapon. And unfortunately for our intruders, they're a bit on the slow side, since their route of escape involved running in a circle, which allowed Faith to merely turn around in order to ambush them. Bodes well for the future, I'd say. Faith smashes the bat into our intruder's leg, and he immediately collapses to the ground in agony. The other approaches and rips her mask off, shocked and appalled that someone would do such a terrible thing to someone who broke into their house.
We're not here to hurt anybody. We just wanted to get out of the cold.
See, that's why we threw a rock through your window and kept our ski masks on while we snuck around your house. Hell's your problem?
You need to get the hell out of here now.
Hey, ma'am, it's freezing outside.
You know, like how it's going to be in here in a few minutes. Because we broke the window. With a rock. We just want out of the cold, man. What, did you expect us to go up and knock on the door like some kind of freak? Seems like somebody's not in the Christmas spirit here, Faith.
I can't walk, I'm fucking dying. You're not dying.
You will be if you're in here for... matter of fact, bang, 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 bang.
Okay, we can debate that while he bleeds all over your floor.
Yes, let's have a fucking comedic quip-off while these two are broken into your house and then you, like, fucking hit this guy in the leg with a fucking nailed baseball bat.
Yeah, you know.
Which, to be fair, based.
That's a guy?
The guy on the floor.
No, that's not a girl,
Yep.
Tom.
No, I said guy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, remember, when they break into your house, they have no rights.
They shouldn't have rights.
Yeah, squatters' rights. Squatters' rights.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Squatters' rights.
This is great. These two hoodlums just broke into someone's house, and now they're gaslighting the homeowner into letting them continue robbing the place. I'll give you that one, Creature is Stirring. That's something I haven't witnessed in a movie before. You monster! How dare you defend your property? Now help me fix my accomplice up. He has to help me get the TV into the truck.
I'm not even having this conversation.
You don't have the right to hurt somebody.
Well, watch me have the left.
Watch me lock my door so you can't get out.
I'm not sure I'd be able to live with myself. But your house, your call.
I would just kill these people. What are you talking? I got a demon upstairs.
I wouldn't have been having this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have been grabbing a fucking bat.
I mean, it's better than doing nothing.
No. I would grab one of many gun and like I'd be sitting here fucking pissed off.
Okay, so you're telling me those are screws that she screwed all the way through?
Those are big fucking screws.
Yeah, what the fuck you have those for?
I don't know if I should count this as foreshadowing or not, but Faith's medical solution for removing the screw out of Kobe from Friend Request is to take a common power drill and then not check which setting it's on before she starts using it.
Hold the bat still, there's gonna be more blood coming.
Okay, this is gonna, like, hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me. Now hold still, dumbass.
Oh, shit! Sorry. I'm sorry.
I think this screwdriver's like broken or something.
There we go. Put a rag on it and you're basically good as new. What's that you say? Infection? Nah, I doubt that. I put a rag on it, you see. Don't you be doubting the professionals here, Kobe.
Apply pressure. Do not leave this room.
She said as she stopped applying pressure and just kind of left it there. I don't know, man. It looks like there were a couple arteries that screw dug into based on the waterfall of blood gushing out of it. So maybe don't let go of the rag until Liz is actually there to take over for you. Oh, yeah, Liz and Corey, by the way. That's what these two losers are called. Just because the names are so similar, I'll admit a level of temptation to just continuing to call him Kobe from Friend Request. But I digress. Charm's having a demon freak out upstairs, so it's time for Mom to apply the old heroin treatment. No time to tend to the wounded home invader. We're just going to leave them on their own while we handle this. I'll let this next scene speak for itself.
The creature's stirring under that.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh, it's retarded.
Oh no, the end.
Oh no, it already ate the antifreeze apples. No.
God, that's so stupid.
I like how they sped it up to make it look scarier.
Me when I'm playing with my dogs.
If it was 105 degrees Celsius, that would be
sorry,
bad.
why is that supposed to be tense for us? We have no fucking idea what's happening.
No, it's not supposed to be tense.
The move was like,
Tom.
oh my god, the temperature's climbing.
Tom, it's not meant to be tense. It's meant to be suspenseful.
Oh yeah, shit.
Kinda sorry nobody picked up on the joke about the temperature being in Celsius.
I have to say, that is one accurate, quick responding thermometer she has in there, updating in real time just from being slightly poked into Charm's mouth. She even invested the extra few bucks into the ominous beeping feature for every time the number changes. Why isn't she using that one more often? Seems tremendously more convenient and less humiliating than the other one. Regardless, on to more important things. Charm's graphic novel is being painted with her tears.
Don't you feel sad for this person you know nothing about?
No, of course I do, because I saw the suspense.
She's using her tears.
She's using her tears for the pain. That's so fucking cringe.
It's so edgy.
It's so fucking edgy.
I'm Zack Snyder, look at me.
Oh, well, you're right, she is definitely a graphic novel artist.
Yeah.
Fuck me. God, that is some fucking art student bullshit, if I ever saw it. I painted this painting with my tears.
I used my cringe to make this.
Is this any better, Squidward? I made this one with my tears.
But when all is said and done, it goes without saying that our breaking and entering duo get to spend the night. While Liz and Corey are pocketing things every time her back is turned, Faith proceeds to set up beds for them while at the same time giving us some more nifty little character building for herself.
Does that make you feel safe?
Yeah, you know how you feel when the line moves in McDonald's? How you, it makes me feel like that.
Yes, dear viewer, as it turns out, our medical professional Faith here is a Reddit atheist. The perfect protagonist for any Christmas movie, you might be thinking. Also, imagine having a child that is regularly transforming into a demon and still being an atheist. Now, don't worry. I assure you this is technically relevant to the plot. Sort of. In addition to basically just being there so the scriptwriter can complain about Christianity every few minutes. There is kind of a payoff later that we'll be coming back to. So, in other words, it'll all make sense in the end, so don't you worry, dear viewer. Strangely, after all of this, we get a scene of Faith monologuing to us about Charm's condition.
2.4 degrees. That's all that's keeping her from slipping away from me.
Thank you, movie. I guess the editor decided that the half-lit Breaking Bad shots in the opening sequence weren't good enough to convey that. This is very oddly placed, happening a good 20 minutes into the film once the first act is basically already wrapped up, though it's presented to us as an introductory narration.
I know addiction. I know sickness. But what has charm is a biological nightmare.
Yeah, this all could have been cut. It realistically doesn't even need to be at the beginning because all of the information in it has already been presented to us in different ways. Safe Zone 102 through 104 was plastered all over the opening credits, and we've already had multiple instances of Faith wanting to take Charm's temperature and being visibly concerned about what it ends up being. A very strange break in the pacing is pretty much all this ends up becoming, which is definitely something you want to avoid, Creature Was Stirring. Don't get me wrong, I'm never opposed to a good old slow burn, but the key detail in making sure that your slow burn is still engaging is not only to make sure that your characters are fleshed out and believable, which jury's out on how you're doing in that field, but also equally important is to not repeat yourself. You don't need to wave your fingers in front of my face and go, "Ooh, Charm's possessed by evil." Like, I know, movie. I know. Also, I wonder if this is a flashback to a previous freakout Charm had, or if it's currently happening during Faith's meeting with the audience members. If so, I'd love to see how Liz and Corey are reacting to the demon noises from upstairs. But regardless, this scene is pretty much just used for some character establishment for our two hoodlums. Liz is Christian, so therefore that is her entire personality from top to bottom, and basically every line of dialogue out of her mouth is going to be some kind of reference to that.
Oh my god, she's Jesus. That's normal.
Yeah, along with the dreadlocks. That's what I would expect.
Yeah, the rainbow-colored dreadlocks.
The rainbow-colored dreadlocks.
Rainbow-colored redlocks.
She really looks like a Christian with her.
No, she's one. She is the new age Christian that Hank Hill doesn't like. When that episode where Bobby's trying to get into like Christian rock music.
Yeah.
And then Hank Hill goes, "You're not making Christianity better. You're just making rock music worse."
Amen, brother.
And Corey has a fetish for fat women that he openly talks to his sister about, as if she's not going to react to it in a disapproving manner.
But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart.
You left off part of that verse is any man's wife.
Surprise, surprise. That's also going to be Corey's personality from top to bottom for pretty much the entire movie. So how excited are you?
Look under the cushion. Maybe there's some gold coins sprinkled about, laddie.
Don't you dare do an Irish accent. Don't you even dare try to do an Irish accent.
No, do it. It'll be funny.
Now, as I said, this movie is a bit on the slower side, and by that, I mean there is a tremendous amount of nothing happening. A lot of dialogue in this movie, and really not a lot of character actions to complement it. And as a result, we're left with a lot of scenes where character A and character B are sitting across from one another, having a conversation that is in turn the force that drives the plot forward. We've seen a few already, and I'm here to tell you that it certainly isn't going to be getting any better. Such as this, check out this nearly 3-minute scene where Faith and Charm sit across from one another, and Charm convinces her mother to let her have dinner with the strangers because she wants social interaction. Isn't that neat?
When you said you made mistakes before, was I one of them?
Yep. Is that what you wanted to hear? Now shut up.
It's a very edgy thing to ask, isn't it?
Very edgy.
All right.
I was a mistake too, wasn't I, Mother?
I'm going to paint with my tears now. Because I am sad with you.
I hope she keeps that stethoscope around her neck the whole fucking movie. I'm a nurse. Don't forget.
What are those? Those aren't
Pills.
Pumpkins.
Oh my god.
They're pumpkin
Skittles.
pills.
They were red and green because Christmas.
Christmas.
Do you get it?
I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Is this a period movie?
I can't tell if you're making a really retarded pun right now, or if you're actually asking a real question.
Like the messaging of, you know, because she's coming into her new body type shit, and learning to live with the monster and accepting that.
So you are making this joke then?
Yeah.
Because it sounded like you were trying to not make it sound like you weren't making that joke, and then you proceeded to do it.
Or like this one, where Corey wanders into Charm's room for some reason, and then hides in her closet like a freak. And then they have a conversation about stuff while he's hiding in the closet. That's cool, right?
Yeah, thank you. I thought you'd forgotten.
It's untenseling. Oh, he stole a candy cane, you Grinch.
The candy cane can.
You're a mean one, Mr. House Robber.
You really are the cringe.
Or like this one, where everyone is sitting at the dinner table, talking. Is this great, guys? Now, I'm not saying that telling your story primarily through dialogue is an inherently bad thing. However, it is an exponentially overused thing, and more often than not seems to be an indication of lazy writing. I can pull an example in just a moment here, but for further context, let's backtrack slightly to the aforementioned hiding in the closet scene. After Corey decides to be a freak and hide in a teenager's closet, he calls out to her to inform her of his presence, lest she think he's a serial killer or something. Ignoring the fact that this just made him look insanely more creepy in the process, but, you know. Self-reflective thought doesn't really seem to be one of Corey's strong suits. The following conversation, while still dry and lifeless as every other conversation in this movie, is an important piece of our little moron puzzle here, so unfortunately it will require my attention.
So you're pretty into porcupines, huh?
There it is. About damn time. Been waiting this whole movie to talk about porcupines. The Boogeymen of Nature, am I right?
Did you know porcupine means pig with swords?
Porcupine. Noun. Circa 1400. Porc d'Espine. From Old French porc espine. Literally, spine hog.
Well, you tried, filmmakers, but unfortunately you are incorrect. But don't you worry, because the only person on the planet who's going to look that up and verify it is currently reviewing your movie. You should be honored.
Killed someone with a porcupine.
Well, I mean,
I wielded it like a sword.
The hard way.
Yeah, I taped a porcupine to a baseball bat. These were the early days before we had access.
I used to wield the porcupine with a stick. It's a very.
And then I hit myself in the head.
Although with that said, I do have to detract a little bit longer because, porcupines? Really? That's what we're making our Christmas horror movies center around? Of all the things in the animal kingdom that you could have picked, and you went with porcupines. I mean, I've seen porcupines a couple times in real life, and I mean, I avoid them, but I wouldn't particularly call them scary. I mean, sure, I get it. You wanted to break the mold a little bit here. Goats are overused, and most movies that use them are just doing Satan rituals anyway. Elk and deer only really work if you're going for a Wendigo type story, and other typical predatory animals like bears or wildcats don't seem to have the same impact in a horror story. Porcupines, though? Those things that are most closely related to beavers and capybaras. All right then, movie. I mean, you got your work cut out for you on this one, because you really can only use they can poke you really hard for so long.
Did you know their quills are basically calcified hair?
I didn't know.
And that at the right angle, they sink into the flesh like hot rebar.
Yeah, and there we are. You've played that card already. Porcupines. They're scary 'cause pointy.
You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Come on, Kibo. There you go. Yay! See, that wasn't so hard.
So, yeah, very nice. We're leaning hard into the goofy on this one. I was starting to fade out already from the endless seas of dialogue, but now I'm in. I'm getting some heavy guinea pigs destroying the city vibes with this one. At this point, Charm proceeds to tell Corey a very confusing story on why she doesn't like porcupines. It's accompanied with a flashback, but it doesn't really help. I guess at some point in her childhood, Faith took Charm to the zoo because she felt bad about something. We then hard cut to Faith yelling at someone for some reason. Unimportant, apparently, because the movie doesn't really seem to think we need any context for it.
Look, she looks exactly the same as she does now.
Yeah, she's always been a a fan of toast, apparently. Even when she was into hardcore drugs.
Yeah. So Charm gets scared or something and runs off, where she in turn enters a door marked employees only. However, instead of there being employees behind this door, there are porcupines for some reason. And then she gets attacked by one. And of course, this is accompanied by quick, scary zoom flashes of porcupine sniffing and sitting around. It's very horrifying, as you can imagine.
Here's another one. I'll put it right here. Okay. You're welcome.
Oh, this is the Batman origin story.
What the
It was terrifying. I saw it eating corn off in the corner, and it was squeaking at me.
Now I dress as a porcupine at night. Fight crime. I fight the injustices.
I love it's just
After
like
that
they're
day, I
at the
swore.
zoo. And she just ran into some employee only like thing, and like no employees saw her go in.
Yeah, there were porcupines in there for some reason.
There were porcupines in there. That's where they keep the porcupines.
Yeah, in the employees' lounge.
Yes.
Dude. Yeah, I get it. You fucking, spin dashed at you and you couldn't get out of the way. Porcupines aren't aggressive. They're a defensive animal.
Yeah.
Hence why their spines are
like their whole
coated
thing.
in-
Yeah.
It's like they literally evolved to be defensive.
Yeah.
Wombats do that too. They have like a hard ass and they hide in their holes. So when any big creature tries to bite at them, they literally use their like cartilage ass in the hole to like slam their face and try to kill them that way.
That's funny.
That's weird. I think it was wombats that do that. It's like, what?
Chase down so many holes, you evolve hard ass.
That you used to kill them.
Yeah.
Fucking worst Pokemon ever.
In the end, this is basically just to say that Faith brought heroin with her to the zoo and was arrested for possession and child negligence. We get some further dialogue to establish that the suitcase from the beginning of the movie is from her party days and likely still has drugs in it from the patented comfort mechanism should she ever relapse.
Like, yeah, we probably shouldn't put the porcupines
look at this
on the
framing,
pennies.
guys. Look at this framing. Look at this wonderful cinematography.
Oh my god, I'm Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder, you done it again.
Ew. Say they're pretty.
Also, like, I really feel like that's not like permanent damage from that. I just feel like it's not that bad.
I mean, only if you left the quills in there, like.
And now, after all of that, we can finally come back to my previous point about the monstrous amounts of dialogue in this film. Guess what? If it weren't for the fact that there's a stupid twist that we're building up to, this entire scene could have been cut. All of it. Sure, you could argue that it serves as Charm's introduction to Corey, but it's entirely irrelevant because the two hardly interact with each other for the remainder of the film. And so aside from that, this scene serves absolutely no purpose as it doesn't give us anything that we didn't already know, could infer from other details earlier or later in the film, or that couldn't have been massively compressed to be integrated with earlier scenes. In fact, the only reason that Charm brought the suitcase up in the first place was not so that the audience would know what it was, but it was so that Corey would go digging through it later in the film. We didn't need an entire scene for that, guys. We also didn't need the weird-ass porcupines in the employee lounge flashback. What purpose exactly did that serve? I hate porcupines. Okay. That's all I need to know, Charm. I have a dark past with the spine hog. Whatever you say, Charm. It's not relevant to the story, so we can save a little bit of that 90-minute runtime for something else. Case in point, scene in the bathtub. Faith is looking over Charm's drawings. She could have given a passing comment about the amount of porcupines on the wall, and Charm could have given an unfavorable response to it. Heck, you could have even made it so she briefly mentions a zoo incident, which could then lead to the conversation that happened in that scene anyway about Faith's past drug use. Bam! Done. All we need to know. Something happened at the zoo. Charm got poked by a porcupine. It happened because Faith's a crackhead. Wow, would you look at that? That's That's 5 minutes I just freed up from your movie. Maybe you can fit in a little bit more now to try and make porcupines scary or something. Can't be that hard. Just have a shot of one eating a strawberry or something. Oh, okay. All right, where are we at? Time to come down off that high, because now we have the dinner scene to talk about.
Before we start eating, I would be honored to lead us in a blessing. If we could all join hands.
Yeah, but when you break someone else's house, expecting to adopt your religion's a bit harsh.
Not just when you guess, but when you've broken into their house and one of you was assaulted with a bat, it's just like, now we have to hold hands and say grace, please.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shammy had a sword. Listening to you talking about it.
I'd have the idea that like somebody breaks to their house and they just start screaming dreidel, 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 like made it out of clay.
Oh, do I want to talk about the dinner scene? I really don't. Let's see how well we can just skim over it.
Yeah, you're stupid for being a Christian. Yeah.
There you go. That's basically what the dinner scene is. I know, right? Making fun of Christianity. What a controversial stance this movie's taking. And needless to say, Liz can't defend her position at all because this was written by someone who doesn't understand the position that she's coming from. It's almost like these characters are poorly written or something.
Oh my God, as an atheist, this makes me cringe.
It's probably when movies try to do this, isn't it? Because I'm not religious, but even I am very much like not in myself, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about this? You don't know what the hell was going on. Yeah. You have no idea what you're talking about, you fucking faggot.
She's referencing Green Lantern.
Why is this just Reddit atheism, the movie?
Dude, right? I don't understand why.
Like, I know, I was there. I was a Reddit atheist at one point. I was a militant atheist for no real reason. I got over it. I still don't believe in this stuff, but I'm also not a massive about it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going any further into this because A, I won't pretend to be as knowledgeable on the subject as I should be. And B, this video is already probably going to be like 2.5 hours long. And I am way too busy reviewing this woman's stupid existence of trying to keep her daughter in the danger zones of feverishness.
I feel bad for this burglar guy just sitting there, like having to sit through this fucking cringy religious debate, and then this very troubled, maniacal, autistic girl starts ranting about Green Lantern.
I'm going to be honest. I like missed half of the religious debate. By the way, I just I switched off because it immediately made me like roll my eyes. And I switched off. So I didn't even know what the arguments were.
There weren't any.
I'm just trying to imagine how much of her face is actually her skull, and it's like not a lot.
Well, no, because Big Bone's not real.
Yeah. Correcto.
So speaking of, let's get back to that. Charm begins rambling about a Green Lantern comic, likely because she's finally starting to become delirious and brain dead from having a constant 103-degree fever for however long.
We're just going off about Green Lantern right now. This is why nobody likes you. You're not even possessed. You're just annoying.
Yeah. This is why I don't bring you down for dinner.
Yeah. She's rambling about Green Lantern again. She's got to go back in the room. She knew what would happen.
Before having a seizure and collapsing on the ground. And before we go any further, no, the Green Lantern story in question is not relevant to the narrative to any significant degree. It's the one where Hal Jordan goes crazy and steals all the power rings so he can resurrect his city and all his loved ones that died. If you're a DC fan, you might know what I'm talking about. If not, don't worry about it. It's not that important.
This sounds like the plot to The Grinch Stole Christmas. And at the end, they all held hands and sang around a Christmas tree.
Yep.
Okay, you missed the part
and the
where
Green Lantern's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Till his ring runs out of power. So he shoots up into space to get back to his home planet where their power source is. He needs all of it to keep Coast City alive, but the Guardians and the other Lanterns, they won't let him have it, so he obliterates them all.
How does he do, but how does he do that if his ring is run out of power?
No one feels guilty if they're just...
No, because he doesn't have enough to make a large illusion of Coast City.
But he can genocide the Guardians.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know right now, Will. I haven't read it. I know what happens. It's not a very good story.
I'm shocked.
It's not.
Say that.
Also, movie. I don't know if a Green Lantern comic book is really what you want to compare the themes of your movie to. He needs the power rings to bring back the city because it's a drug. It's like heroin. Oh my God, it'll be vaguely relevant to our dumb twists later. But yeah, anyway, finally something interesting is happening. Charm's dying on the floor because, as it turns out, having a fever that doesn't let up is bad. I mean, oh no, she's turning into a porcupine. And of course, the power goes out because it's time for Spooky. And like any reasonable mother, Faith agrees to leave Charm on the floor with the home invader while she and the other home invader go and look for the backup generator.
No, you're supposed to put something in her mouth. Are you a doctor now?
Well, no, that's a stupid idea. But she is currently lying on her back and foaming at the mouth. That's bad, I think. I think you're supposed to, like, turn people on their side when that happens or something. That's fine, I guess. Okay. But it's okay, because now we get to have our first certified spooky scene of this horror movie. We're only about 40 minutes in. Usually a good sign. Liz hears a porcupine eating a pumpkin in the other room, and upon looking back down, finds that Charm has vanished. Horrified, she wanders around the house calling out to her, and we get a couple minor spooks before we finally come to the big set piece.
There's a very delayed reaction as well.
I swear to God, well, if this ends up being the same story as Krampus, where the porcupine has to enter the house through the chimney, and they light and they light a fire to keep it out, but eventually the fire goes out and it gets in the house, I might be really fucking annoyed.
Well,
Dan, you have no idea where this movie is going.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Liz opens the front door and finds a wall of snow in front of it. Near the bottom is a neatly dug out tunnel.
Jesus, how fucking bad is this blizzard where the snow is like 10 feet high?
It's pretty bad, apparently.
It's pretty bad. Somehow they managed to go through all that and break into the house.
Like anyone with a survival instinct, she immediately grabs a candy cane light so we can be reminded that this is a Christmas movie before getting onto her hands and knees and crawling into the tunnel. This goes about as you would expect.
Charm, can you follow my voice? Can you follow my voice?
Yeah, you see, smart move on Charm's part. That's the thing you say when you want to be left alone. Because I don't think there's a single person on this planet that would respond to that with, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I'll come over.
Dude, who the fuck? What are you doing? I'm not doing this. I don't give a shit. Oh, right. She thinks she's a Christian. Never mind. This is. Yeah. She's actually deciding to do something for once. There's literally 0 universes that do this.
Can you follow my voice?
Because
especially at that point.
Yeah. Because the thing is as with most situations in all these movies, as I am the greatest on the planet, I would simply not be in this situation.
You wouldn't climb into the weird snow tunnel.
No, I wouldn't be in the situation to do this in the first place. You're missing the point. I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you could see the marks on the snow where they used like a shovel to make it.
No,
that's clearly dug by a porcupine.
So Liz, I have to ask, creepy little girl voice aside, are you at all curious on how the teenage girl who was just violently seizing on the ground dug out this perfectly formed snow tunnel this quickly? One might say it's a bit odd, perhaps a bit on the unnatural side if we want to go really crazy with it.
No, but I have to help her.
Yes, of course. You are a nice girl who regularly does nice things for people. I'm aware. I've seen this character template quite a few times at this point. I digress. You are dumb, and now look at what's going to happen.
This is supposed to freak out the claustrophobic people.
Look, the lights of the snow tunnel are flashing. Oh my goodness.
Oh no. Oh God. It's coming for your corn.
Pumpkin.
Oh God, it's horrifying. Run, Liz, run for your life. If it gets you, you might have to put hydrogen peroxide on the spot where it pokes you. Oh God, secondary infection may set in if you don't receive basic medical attention. If the quill gets stuck in you, it'll be kind of painful to pull out, Liz.
So, to the surprise of no one, Liz gets out of this situation when Faith and Corey come back and open the door. And to the further shock of no one, Faith also pulls Charm out of the tunnel afterwards.
Oh my gosh. Oh, damn it. I was really hoping she was going to try to stuff herself in there.
She's the porcupine. Oh my.
Oh, so she used that.
What
to
was
tunnel
that?
her way.
Yeah, it was one of those little
wrong?
paint scrapers.
No,
okay,
fuck
yeah.
you. Fuck off.
Yeah, it dug that tunnel.
Does she have the speed of Green Lantern now?
Yeah, she dug that pretty quick, yeah.
Yep. And I don't know where all the excess snow went.
Man, it made more sense when we didn't know how the tunnel got there.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that just made it stupider.
Yeah.
Right.
And thus I can say we've reached the current end of interesting stuff for the time being. Time for another treacherous voyage across the sea of poor dialogue and exposition writing. I suppose you could probably still infer some horror from that, especially when you take into account that we just hit the halfway point of the movie. Ahead of us, we have such thrilling scenes, such as Corey and Liz talk to each other. Faith talks to Charm while she doesn't say anything.
Try not to impale your bed again tonight, honey. It's really I'm tired of buying new
I've spent so many money on mattresses this month.
And Faith having a freak out because the antifreeze she's giving her daughter isn't stopping the demon from manifesting.
So my other question is, has this been happening forever, or did it just start happening recently because she was attacked when she was a child?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would think that it would just recently start happening because, I mean, like, you can only be at, like, a high-grade fever like that for so long before it starts killing you.
Well,
apparently,
if it's changing shit, you don't know that.
That's true. That's true.
Changes to body composition, you can't hold old standard.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
You know, this movie would have been scarier had they used a platypus. Those things are way more mysterious. They're fucking porcupine.
Yeah, they have venom. They lay eggs.
It's true.
Yeah, they got claws. They got a duck bill.
Yeah. I would have taken the movie probably a little more seriously.
Yeah, for real.
Not by much, because poor platypuses still look really stupid.
And the duck bill would have made way more sense for all those shovel marks, you know?
That's true. It's true. How did this tunnel get here? My God.
There's flipper marks everywhere.
He dug it with his bill.
Yeah. His bill and his flippers.
You know, when they delivered you, you weighed 2 pounds.
She's eating burritos bigger than the child she gave birth to.
Me too.
The creature just whooshed.
There's a creature, and it's stirring.
Is this almost over, Will?
No.
You said it was a short movie. It's got to be almost over now.
Shockingly, I don't have much of a desire to dissect any of these scenes, nor do I for the upcoming one, merely because it is an otherworldly horror that I don't think mere human words could properly articulate. Not this one. This is just Corey talking to the porcupine demon that's wandering around the house. It isn't actually as interesting as you think. Nothing was accomplished, other than I guess the demon said he was Charm's father. That's riveting. I'll bet that'll mean something later. Sorry, my bad. I'm supposed to be acting like I don't know how this movie ends. Oh, what could it mean, dear viewer? What could it mean?
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't have any kids.
Not yet, but you got plenty of that pure white venom just itching to get out.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to not say that to me.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
So what's her dad's problem if that's truly the case?
Apparently he's gay.
Yeah. That is a problem. He let the beard go on for too long and now he's upset.
Oof, yeah. The beard got too much, too heavy.
Yep.
He is taking this very well.
Isn't he shot?
He's reacting so calmly to this fucking hellspawn abomination standing in the living room.
He's just like, huh, that's weird.
You know.
You
got red on you.
You got a pretty mouth.
Hold on, let me just get that for you.
Thank you. That's mine. That's my wife. That's my life. That's my nighty night. That's my fat lady wife. He just takes the cloth for some reason. I spilled my water on the floor in the room. I gotta go clean it up.
Is this like? Oh, are we almost done? Is it almost over?
I bet this movie's about halfway. Yep.
We're a little over halfway.
I could literally be punching myself in the face at home in my own bed right now. I could be jumping off the roof right now.
Anyway, I mentioned earlier an unearthly horror that was about to occur. This still holds true, and I still hold no desire to dictate it to you. This is a scene that holds infamy among the crew, and I won't lie that I've spent a portion of the year trying to figure out how the hell I'm supposed to describe it. Ultimately, I've decided that I'm not going to, as words alone cannot describe the raw confusion and otherworldly madness that takes place in this portion of the film. I assure you that I do not speak to you with hyperbole. This is actually one of the biggest what the hell moments I've seen in a movie in a long time. But thankfully, I have the patented out of just not talking about it. So, there we are then. Problem solved. Unfortunately, my friends do not share this privilege, and as such, I will now showcase to you the true torturous horrors I've unleashed upon them. I cannot guarantee your own sanity, as this will require me to probably play the clip more than once, so, good luck with that. If you're still here on the other end of it, you may have a stronger will than most.
Oh, yeah, she did speak like that, yeah. If that was supposed to be a reveal, they ruined it.
Wait, whoa, hang on. Red, you've been paying attention to this movie?
Every now and then.
Oh my god. Green.
Yeah.
Lightning.
What?
Yeah.
It's the green one.
This is a very important scene.
Oh, foreshadowing. This is what's gonna happen to him. What in the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, Shammy,
Oh
you're
my
probably
god,
gonna...
it's Ryan Reynolds.
You're probably you're probably gonna want to.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is going on?
You're gonna wanna like go do something else for a minute. This is
What is going on?
I thought you were kidding when you said Green Lantern was in the movie because of the comics. What the fuck is happening?
What the fuck is happening? What's happening? Guys, I'm confused.
Report to the ship as soon as possible.
Why are they fucking?
Well, I want to go home.
Tell me this is all just some fat bitch's fucking demented fantasy, Will. Tell me that this is a fat bitch in an insane asylum that's just making her own shitty fucking comic.
This is. I don't care how much of this you can't put in the video because of this, Will, because this is pissing me off. Yeah. So is this happening or not?
It's okay. That comedy will be fine. There's like 4 women that will ever watch Will's videos, and he knows 2 of them.
Green Lantern. Why is he Green Lantern?
Jesus Christ.
Wait, is that the
She almost sucked his whole head off.
Oh, no! Stop it!
What was that? Why did that happen?
What the fuck?
Well, that was definitely a choice.
No!
So yeah, there's that. Anyway, back to relative sanity now. We get a scene where Liz talks to Charm. Oh my god, what a treat. It's like it's Christmas or something. Because I think this is all possible interactions unlocked. Let me think about that for a second. Yep, everybody's had a scene to talk to each other at this point. How lucky are we? Anyway, we're skimming this one too.
No, we're not gonna. We can't just brush past that. We can't have a normal talking scene after that. We can't ignore that. You can't
Well, that
expect me to take this film seriously after that.
I love that. I love that Red was like, that's happened, and me and Tom are just like, no, what? Stop it. Hang on. Wait. What? No.
Well, I'm ready to completely forget it happened.
What on
In fact, I kind of insist I forget that it happened.
I was genuinely just gonna like make a stupid joke like, oh, there's green lightning, oh, it's the Green Lantern, and then the fucking guy comes in dressed as Green Lantern and starts making out with the mum. Why?
Primarily, this scene is pretty much just Liz asking Charm if her mom's holding her against her will or not. And Charm gives us the exposition that Faith thinks she turns into a monster whenever she gets too hot or too cold. There are smaller details we'll be returning to, but in the meantime, this is the only thing worth mentioning. After Liz expresses doubt that this is the case, Charm goes over and turns on the heater, which in turn horrifyingly transforms her into a puppet that looks like it has some kind of watered down syrup leaking out of the mouth and one of the eye holes. Pretty terrifying, as you can imagine. But anyway, after this, we get a scene where Liz and Corey talk to each other. My God, this just doesn't end. Who wrote this? I'm getting so severely annoyed right now. Shannon Wells. Okay, Shannon Wells. You need to have other things happening in your story other than characters giving exposition to each other. I get it. I've been there. I used to write Calvin and Hobbes fan fiction. And they weren't good. Don't go looking for them. Trust me, it's not worth the ironic humor. But you keep teasing these moments of spooky monster bits, and then they are immediately undermined by the characters then gathering in a room to dryly discuss it afterwards. I just need something to happen. Please, movie. Even if it means killing one of these morons off, at least then it'll feel like there are actual stakes. Remember how there's this terrible blizzard going on right now? Yeah, me either, because it's almost never addressed. I occasionally need to remind myself about it, because it's the entire reason these two idiots have stayed here this long to begin with. But the word blizzard really only comes up once or twice from my recollection, and other than that, they just give vague blanket statements about it being generally cold outside. That, in turn, should make Corey's suggestion of fleeing back into it even more dire and last resort, but the blizzard isn't even acknowledged, and it just comes across like they're just staying because they're idiots. Charm's seizure could have been far more effective if the concept of being isolated in this house was a more apparent one. The wall of snow in front of the house was really the first indication of what was actually going on outside, and in the end, it wasn't even for that purpose, moreover than it was to set up the spooky bit. And this is nearly 45 minutes into the movie, dear viewer. What's more, while I'm on this rant, it's worth mentioning that I haven't spent a lot of time talking about Charm and how this nonsense possession disease thing is supposed to function. There's a reason for that we'll be returning to, but in the meantime, what exactly is the problem here? She's basically a were-porcupine that can randomly change at any moment, but then these transformations only seem to last about 5 minutes at a time. The first instance or two, sure, Faith injected her with the arbitrary meth needle, but there wasn't anything to put her temperature back to that 2-degree safe zone in the snow tunnel. If anything, she should have thrived as Madame Porcu-Death in that snow tunnel forever, because supposedly the second she drops below 102 degrees, it's back to it. But for whatever reason, she reaches the door and the filmmaking gods are like, okay, scary scene over, she's better now. So if she just changes back after a few minutes anyway, wouldn't it be more appropriate to put your efforts into containment instead of just regularly drugging her into a high-grade fever? But oh well, rant over. I guess it'll all make sense in the end.
What are you trying to figure out? Let's just leave.
Yeah, there's a giant porcupine dude that's talking about my cum. We need to leave.
Turning our back on her would be a sin that dwarfs all others.
Oh,
No, no,
it would not.
They need an exorcist.
Yeah.
Like, you guys can leave.
Yeah, she just runs out of the house going, y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that's why you leave and call the police, Liz. These are some pretty self-explanatory solutions that Corey's not going to come up with. No, my brother, we must stay and allow ourselves to be slaughtered by the porcupine demon, because my moral compass doesn't actually have a logical side to it. Now, I know, it has been said in the past that people aren't logical, and therefore you can't judge a character based upon it, but oh my God, you'd think eventually there would be one person in a movie ever who would say, wow, what we're doing right now sure is a terrible idea. Hold on, let's think about it for 2 seconds longer than we did last time. Let's see, we're in this house with a demon. If we stay, we're gonna die. What is going on in this movie? My God, am I actually losing my mind? Porcupines are scary. She got quilled by one, so therefore she randomly becomes one. But then maybe not, because the mother had her from this other porcupine entity, and he randomly wanders around and no one really acknowledges it. Green Lantern keeps showing up for some reason. There's this weird drug use theme that they're not really doing anything with. This is borderline incoherent. This is what I imagine it's probably like to look at Cthulhu for too long. But anyway, now that nothing's been accomplished since the first 15 minutes of this movie, we're finally starting to get towards the grand conclusion of our holiday special. And what better way to kick off the epic climax than a scene of Faith talking to Liz and Corey? I know, we're bringing a third person in on this one. Shannon's out here really spoiling us.
What is the sin whose shadow in which you live?
What is this dialogue?
Don't know, it's terrible.
I pray to the Heavenly Father for your redemption.
You said that right as I was taking a drink, Tom. That was not...
You know, there's a theory that 10% is all we use of our brains. And that full capacity operation could be the result in unlocking of powers.
That's stupid and not true.
No, that's a myth. No, it's a myth. It's not. It's a misconception.
10% of
we use 100. We use 100% of our brains. If we only use 10%, we will be fucking drooling idiots.
Most of us are. Have you seen Hollywood?
Well, no, fine.
To be fair, most of the planet probably does only use 10%. But
maybe. But for the normal
why
human,
are they doing this?
Because they need to save charm, I guess.
Like telepathy, telekinesis. Maybe we'd only be limited by our imagination.
The consequences of Green Lantern have done wonders to this. It's actually insane. I wish Green Lantern wasn't real.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when I don't start skimming things in the movie. This is what happens when I try and review an entire movie without actually being like, okay, we're going to start skipping things now. I start losing my mind. And as such, we have arrived at the point where my sanity is at its limit. And I will be taking a step back to nurse my battle wounds and allow the brave souls of my crew to take point for the next few minutes. As per usual, I will see you on the other side. But no matter what you see, dear viewer, don't worry. It'll all make sense in the end.
And your fairy tale fucking holiday!
Christmas?
And your 10 Commandments.
It's the season of his birth.
And you can go straight to hell!
It's not the season of his birth.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that.
Yeah. This is a woman who just deleted her OnlyFans and said, "I'm a Christian."
Fucking yup.
Also, why are you really gonna hold me? You just watched her transform into a fucking freak monster thing, but I'm the whack person for having a weapon. Are you retarded?
How could you do this to your daughter? By the way, I saw her turn into a porcupine. What's up with that?
Don't you fucking touch her!
Don't you fucking touch the toast.
I spent all night cooking it.
How much will we out of this?
What's that?
I slaved over the toaster.
Man, I'm having a real hard time focusing, to be honest. Like, my ADD's just like, nah.
I mean, like this movie.
Look, what's the dog doing?
What do you mean? The pacing and the plot grips you so well?
Well, you mean to tell me, Dan, that you're not following the story right now? Like
as much as I hate her, I think I'm currently hating the home invader people more because at least she was doing something.
This is a flip of a coin. Holy shit.
At least she had something going to keep her from turning into a freak monster. And these people showing up like, no, we're going to invade this house and we're going to handle this ourselves. Like, what the fuck are you on about?
The power of Christ compels you.
I also don't believe that crucifix is blessed in the slightest.
Oh yeah, no, she bought that.
No, everything that is Christian is blessed for these type of Christians.
Yeah.
Except for anything Catholic, and then that's all evil.
Isn't using the crucifix to ward off evil a Catholic thing more than a Protestant thing?
Yes, but they put their faith in the belief of Jesus is like the end all be all versus Catholicism, which is the lessons through the acts that you do. You form your devotion to living like Christ.
She has Christmas songs on a fucking record player.
She's like a really hardcore atheist type, and yet she has Christian carols ready to go on a record player.
Yeah, on a record player.
What the hell?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Oh my god!
Oh, what? What?
What the hell?
What the fuck happened? Wait, he fell on the porcupine? He just
Now
randomly fell
he's
down
the
stairs.
porcupine.
Just randomly fell down the stairs, and the porcupine was at the bottom of the stairs, and he landed on.
Civil wrestling! Civil wrestling!
Ah, got her.
Nah, she's immune to blunt damage, dude. You know how fast she is?
True.
Give me a fucking break, dude.
I have the perfect clip for you to put in with this fight, Will.
Okay.
I have the perfect clip. I'll show you after. It's the perfect clip. You have to use it.
Okay.
Wrestling. Oh, she's just gonna take a nap.
Maybe
just
not.
take a nap.
Yeah.
Just take a nap. Oh man, what a long day.
Yeah, man. I really just gotta sleep this one off.
What a day.
They're bleeding all over the floor. Oh no.
Oh yeah, the porcupine.
So that is two of them.
Well, all right. I don't know why he did that, but
yeah, just
all
napped
right.
for 10 seconds and was like, oh yeah.
Well,
demon.
that, and I don't know why the porcupine decided to go into the Christmas tree.
Knocked over the. I was rolling. Look at him go. Autobots, roll out.
I come through the door. Look at her roll.
Oh, it is like a bowling ball. I guess
Look
I
at it
got
go.
hedgehog and porcupine confused.
Look at it go.
I love how it's all nailed in one piece.
Like the vampire.
It was all nailed in one piece with only two nails holding it to the door.
Love how she holds a cross at her like she's a vampire. Like, be gone, foul spirit.
Right. Outsmarted again.
He just somehow did. He
just teleported.
He hopped up the stairs.
See, look, if you don't show it on camera, then you just have to infer that he escaped logically. If you don't show it, then he did it. You can't ask questions.
Hey, it just happened.
Logically or magically, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, you can clearly see him walking out the door. He clearly got out.
It clearly was achieved. So, yeah. And, you know,
he clearly did the thing, so you can't question it.
Yeah.
I really wish you just made a regular porcupine noise instead of like a demon growl. Like the same prosthetics, like this giant fucking creature, and it just goes.
That would be it. Or no, it's the same noise but just made a bit deeper. You know.
Yeah. Just a lower pitch.
Yeah.
Porn.
Yeah. Oh, best scene of the movie is coming up here.
Oh, I guess his adrenaline's gone all of a sudden.
No, Dan, you're not ready. You need to watch.
You're not ready for what's coming.
You need to brace yourself right now. You need to brace yourself.
Is she gonna get like? Never mind.
No, just brace. Just
wait.
I already know.
No,
I already know, but I'm not
No, you
gonna say
don't.
it.
You don't.
It's very inappropriate.
You do not know, Dan. Oh my god! Porcupines don't do that.
What the fuck? He just did a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog spin attack. Oh, that shot was hilarious, just spinning in the air.
WWE pro wrestler off the top rope, coming down with his finishing move.
He did a fucking.
It's the people's elbow.
He did a Sonic the Hedgehog spin dash, Dan.
I mean, yeah, Sonic does kill stuff in one jump most of the time if it's not a fucking boss. Who here knows how many times you have to hit a boss in Sonic the Hedgehog, at least the first one, before it dies?
3.
Wrong.
4?
No.
5.
It's 8.
Oh.
Don't you get it, viewer? She was a drug addict before.
Yeah. If you hadn't noticed, they're fairly subtle about it.
Very. Show another crucifix.
So, Jake, what do you think is happening currently?
I don't know.
Clearly drugs. I mean, the Green Lantern shit's back.
I guess maybe you know what, fuck it. All of this is a heroin fucking dream, and she's like dying in a ditch somewhere.
All the smoke machines are being set off in the house.
Oh no.
Oh, now it's here now.
What is that? Is that supposed to be the representation?
Why is there like a
of her
baby
demons?
one now?
Because the evil is spreading, Dan.
Spreading their baby porcupine.
Well, you see, there's like syringes.
So it laid eggs.
So it's representative of her demons.
Yes, Dan, the porcupine laid eggs.
The eggs are hatching all over the house like that Alien movie.
Pesky porcupines biting your feet.
Jake, you wanted to watch this, I'd like to remind you.
I know, I did.
Yeah, I told you I had no interest in it. There was a reason. When I hear Tom crying, I know there's nothing good in it for me.
I'm crying right now.
I know there's not going to be any redeeming qualities. He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good."
I can see you reaching for
okay,
something.
I know I'm in for
I can see you
a
reaching.
treat.
I can see you reaching for that. I can see you. Why are you humming? Stop it. It's annoying. The demon is literally just like more annoyed that she's singing. It's like, stop it. Ting. Oh, what's that? Oh, I should have done something about that. Oh, I saw you pull out the knife, but I didn't react at all.
No.
Doesn't it all make sense now?
Yep.
No.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, there's more, yeah.
There's more.
I'm just turning it off.
But
no, you need to understand.
The true answers have not yet been
revealed. The true
revealed.
reveal of this plot
I
will
don't
unveil
care.
itself.
No, Dan, it's very important.
I don't want
Very
any
important.
answers.
Look at that drawing.
Trust me, I have no questions in my mind.
Mother and daughter.
Mother
and daughter are happy.
I don't have any
smiley
questions
face.
about this film.
Mother and daughter. Oh
I know
no.
all that I need to
Credits.
know.
No,
Is that
you don't.
No, it's
Yeah, I
not
do.
credits. There's more.
I got it all figured out as much as I want to
1
know.
week later.
Dude, I don't like... This is why I hate metaphors. Because they're almost always ham-fisted garbage.
Yeah. Pretentious, up their own ass about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was turning into one, but I guess it came out of her and she was inside it.
Yeah, I guess it's Attack on Titan style
Even though her
transformation or
face was
something.
melting off earlier. But wasn't her face melting off?
Oh, that looks really good. Oh, yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Hey, the sad music.
I'm melting.
So, there you have that. I told you it would all make sense in the end. And here you were starting to doubt me, thinking that this was some kind of incoherent mess that the filmmakers were trying to pass off as surreal storytelling. That sure showed you, huh? Look at that. We cut to a 1 week later card, and we're met once again with faith and charm. But now they're happy forever, and everything's wonderful and joyful. A regular wish upon, too, let me tell you.
Look, the sun is shining. It's all happy now. It's not gloomy and dark and green.
Look, she's done makeup and they're not eating toast. They're having bacon.
No, she's eating more than toast. It's not just toast. It's eggs and bacon and orange juice. That means they're happy now.
Yeah.
Look, she's smiling. They're happy now.
Oh, it's not chaos for breakfast now.
This is not a fake out. I promise you, this is not a fake out.
Now I paint with my tears of joy.
Time flies in your fucking Green Lantern.
Mother and daughter share between them many loves and smiles, and Charm thanks her for pulling her out of the darkness, or whatever the hell that was supposed to be.
Thanks.
For what?
For being nice in that one time. Smile.
I love you, Mom. This is
I
the
love
best
you, Mother.
day ever.
I just want
1, 4,
I want
3.
to say.
Mom.
I want to say.
Is her-
1,
is her-
4,
is her-
3.
Oh, I thought they were going to do her
1, 4,
fast
3, Mom.
I want to say.
This is what I could have been.
So it was
if you
real or
didn't
not?
abort me.
Everybody was happy forever.
I don't know. Well, she was showing that she didn't have the porcupine things anymore,
That doesn't make
or
any
if
sense.
ever did.
Yeah.
I mean, she never did. It was.
We didn't see that from Faith's point of view.
Thank you, Mother. For what, daughter? For being
Yes.
a good mother. You're welcome. We have a newfound relationship.
Yeah.
Yes, Mother, we do. We like each other now. We are now happy. Yes. I sure hope a bad thing involving porcupines doesn't happen again.
And hark! Is that not a blue jay I hear on this beautiful morning? Ah, Charm, my wonderful daughter, winter has passed, and spring is upon us. Yes, dear viewer, in one short week, we went from 7+ feet of snow to blossoming flowers and joyful celebrations. Also, I don't know if I'm properly articulating just how hard of a tone shift we just experienced. We have a line of dialogue where Charm mentions she's going to add flowers to her new painting, and Faith is humming happy songs as she walks down the sidewalk with her coffee. This writer is actually incapable of writing something in between gushy happiness or edgy Zack Snyder.
Oh.
This movie's great. Look at the. Oh.
And together we will read many Green Lantern comics in the sunshine and beauty and... Oh, that's weird. There are cops in a fire truck over there. Oh, well, I'm sure that means nothing. Allow me to wander over to this bush so that we can haphazardly deliver the twist at the last possible second.
Could it be that all is not as it seems?
Could it be
the thing
of the thing?
My God!
Oh my God, what has she seen? Has she seen the thing?
Oh yeah, you didn't think we were going to get out of this one without something stupid happening, did you? This movie has proudly declared from the beginning that it wants you to go insane. No. We still have one more thing to talk about. And oh boy, is it a thing to talk about. What I'm about to reveal to you, dear viewer, has been ever present on my mind throughout the entirety of the production of this script. However, as I have tried to maintain the cinematic experience for you, I have been unable to talk about it until now. Unfortunately, this means that a lot of my statements previously will be retroactively recontextualized, and we're going to need to revisit quite a few scenes to properly break it all down. Oh yeah, we're not done with this thing yet. As much as I would love to call this a conclusion, we unfortunately still have quite a bit left to go. And we will begin the discussion of the recontextualization of this movie with this picture. Does this look familiar to you, dear viewer? It may, because this is the drawing that Charm had hidden behind several other drawings during the bathtub scene. Faith had begun to look at it until Charm scolded her off of it, and now we can finally see it. And what does this picture mean? And how does it relate to the twist I'm about to give you? Well, enough build-up, I suppose. Let's get into it. Throughout the movie, we saw several quick flashes of Faith during her drug party days. We never got anything concrete other than these flashes, but now that it's twist time, we can actually watch the whole thing. The year is 1998, and we're reintroduced to Liz and Corey. Talking to each other, no less. Don't worry, we're still keeping to the classics here. The two are arguing with each other as Corey is trying to save someone who Liz says does not want to be saved. Surprise, surprise, this someone is Faith.
What's going on? Wait, this is a flashback.
This is a flashback, correct.
So they've met each other before.
Yeah.
What?
Immediately, I find it funny that Faith is having a flashback to a conversation that she wasn't present for, but I digress. Corey ignores his sister's warnings and goes in to try and talk to Faith regardless. And how this basically ends up going is Faith drugs him and he dies.
You let that happen.
You're literally so weak and retarded, you deserve everything that's about to happen to you.
She just killed him.
Yep. She also drugged him against his will, which is... You know, I don't know how that's actually classified as a crime. Like, what crime that is. Like, there's a word for it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely an evil act, and it is definitely a seizing of someone else's rights, which is, in my world, punishable by death.
Yeah.
I would agree, but the problem is with me is that I consider most of these things punishable by death because it'd just be a lot faster if we did that.
We then get multiple flashbacks throughout the course of the movie, revealing to us that Liz and Corey were never actually at the house, and Faith was just talking to herself like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Oh, so none of this was real?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was the big reveal. Oh my god.
That doesn't make any sense.
They weren't real?
That doesn't work.
They weren't there. Holy
Correct.
shit, this is the stupidest fucking twist ever.
Wait, hang on. Did you see that? Did you see that one where?
See, the thing is that we had so many scenes without her in it, and that really fucks this whole...
Oh, it's just all in her fantasy.
I know, but I just don't like... I think it just is poor doing that. I think it's very poor.
Yeah. Well, this was all projected poor.
Because if it was always from her point of view at every time, it'd make a lot more sense, and it'd be a lot easier to see.
Well, yeah, and that's
but they wanted to twist you.
Yeah, but it's not a twist if you just hide it all from me the whole time by putting it behind a brick wall and then going behind the... You didn't see this behind the wall, did you? It's like, yeah, you're right, I didn't, dude. You got me.
Charm was aware that this was going on and played along with her mother's delusions whenever she would come up pretending to be one of the other two people. Also, Charm was never a porcupine demon. Her mother was just drugging her for no reason. More on that in a second. The scene of Liz leaving the house is revealed to have been Charm, choosing to run out into the snow rather than spend another minute dealing with her mom being crazy, which in turn gives us the final shot of the movie, which reveals that Charm made it a whole 20 feet away from her house before getting stuck in a bush and dying. And without a single moment to try and process literally any of that, the closing credits roll against the final shot of her frozen corpse.
So she drew herself escaping and dying, I guess, and that's
And then
the
she
picture
did.
that, yeah.
And why did she draw that picture?
Baller, that is a...
So how long has she been there for? And nobody knows.
So she went out in the blizzard and died.
Yep. Not only that, it doesn't even look like she barely got outside of the house.
Yeah, I wanted to say she got really far, didn't she?
Yeah, she went into those bushes, got tangled up, and was like, "Oh, I give up."
No. I'm assuming that she fell into the things and got stabbed by the trees, and that's why it's a porcupine.
Yeah, I don't see how she got stuck there. Like it's like. Just was walked through the brush for a second. Was like, I give up. I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah, the snow all went away and she got stuck in a bush.
Yeah.
I like the Lord of the Rings elves music at the end. The elves choir.
Oh my god, this is.
I'm so confused.
This is so shit.
So what was the reveal?
The reveal that none of it was real, but also her daughter died.
But when?
Before the movie started, or when she escaped?
There's a drawing of her dead.
That's what I mean.
Hold up. So she died while escaping, like the scene that... Oh, yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Oh my god.
But...
I don't know what happened.
So they got this perimeter up and they know she's there. Are they gonna arrest and question the mother at all? She's just coming out of her house drinking a coffee, what a lovely day.
Yeah, she's getting ready to go water the daughter.
Yeah.
Any fucking questions for her?
In order of appearance, yeah, that's interesting.
What a stupid fucking movie.
Creature performer.
Oh yeah,
So this was fucking retarded.
Okay, so why hasn't she been arrested?
So it was a giant blizzard, and then it all melted fucking instantly.
In a week.
And they're like, "Oh shit, kid."
So yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know. I was hoping you guys could make better sense of it than I could.
How could you possibly think I can make sense of that?
What's the movie called?
The
Creature.
I would say. Well, I would say your faith in us is quite a charm. But...
Yeah, I was saying, like, how the fuck could you even think we could dissect that?
Oh boy. All right, let's get into it.
Phenomenal film. Spoiler. Amazing practical effects, beautiful set design, masterful acting, incredible writing, terrifying premises. This film has it all.
The ending is absolutely shocking. This is what a horror film can be when genuine care is put into it. The film was done with all practical effects, and that makes it feel all the more real.
The creature is a legitimately horrific terror that is unbelievably unique. Damien Levesque is a talent like no other. Not only is this a genuinely scary movie, it is a horror film with actual substance, character arcs, and an underlying theme that ties it all together.
Go see this movie if you can. It will stay with you. 24 people found this helpful and 4 disliked it.
Definitely a watch. Definitely a twist. Loved it. It's honestly the best horror film I've seen all year. For a porcupine. For a porcupine as a creature wasn't so... Fucking hell. For a porcupine as a creature wasn't too sure, but loved the psychological twist.
I literally leaned in my chair even at the end saying, what the fruitcake? Oh my goodness, LOL. Won't spoil anything.
Definitely had a lot of emotions that was unexpected, but really good. And the last scene, what the fuck? Very unexpected, which I loved. Most horrors are all basic and expected. Not this one, LOL.
I give this a 10 for sure. If you like a good horror movie, this is worth a watch. Heck, even if you don't like horrors, it's definitely a good movie to watch. I've been telling everyone I know to watch it.
The only thing was the religion thing, but I think it sucked me. God, I can't do this well. The only thing was the religion thing, but I think it sucked me more in since I got that. Other than worth.
Damn it.
21 people found this helpful and 2 disliked it.
How does one properly articulate the poor execution of an unreliable narrator? This is a question I've been sitting on for about a year now. It's certainly not an enviable task. But neither is watching these stupid movies the 17 or 18 times it takes to make a video, so we do what we must. A very long time ago, I watched a movie with Tana by the name of The Uninvited. Now, for full disclosure, I remember almost nothing from this film save for its ending. So if you've seen it and I've gotten details wrong, please forgive me, but I'm not watching it again just for the sake of this one paragraph, so take this for what it's worth. Oh yeah, I'm also spoiling the movie. I'm sure you're all very concerned about that. In the film, we primarily follow 2 sisters who are dealing with whatever this movie was actually about. All irrelevant though, because as we find out in the end, one of the sisters was actually dead the entire time, and the other was just hallucinating her. To illustrate this, the movie gives us some nifty little flashback sequences to showcase that the main character was actually alone during scenes where the sister was previously present. Pretty par for the course, you may say, until you see the flashbacks retconning events that happened prior. Because in order for the sister to have been dead this entire time, it required the flashbacks to show us that certain things just didn't happen, or happened differently from what we originally saw. The largest examples of this being when they just shamelessly altered dialogue or switched it so a character didn't acknowledge the sister when they had previously. Now again, I'm working almost entirely off of memory here, but this has been a rather prominent standout moment in the old movie watching career, and it's often an example we use to compare against other terribly done twists, the aha gotcha rug pull technique of storytelling. Additionally, though not a movie, I would also like to direct your attention to the story of the Dark Pictures anthology Little Hope, the most useless of all from the Supermassive Games catalog. And mind you, that is not a crown that it consistently holds easily.
Oh, after credits, Steve. It's not over. It's not over.
Dan, you're
It's not
missing
over.
Dan.
It's not over.
Dan.
It's not over. I'm so happy it's not over. It's still
There's
going.
more
That's
gameplay.
great. That's great. How I forgot that there was after credits because I thought the credits would be finished, but no, there's more. There's so much more. There's an after credit.
You okay, Tom?
No.
In the story of Little Hope, we follow a group of morons who get stuck in the mysterious town of Little Hope. And throughout, they are randomly teleported to olden times where they get to see themselves getting lynched because they be witches and such. After witnessing their own death in the past, their ghost will manifest in the present and make an attempt on their double's life. Obviously, the usual Supermassive Games formula is present where you can get all of these people out alive from these situations, but this is irrelevant to the greater point. Supernatural forces are obviously at work here, and this is even shown from the very beginning of the game, where we see a demonic force influencing little Susie here to burn down her family's house. And then, after 6 hours of playing, you get to be treated to, nope, gotcha, none of it was real. This dude was just wandering around the town talking to himself, and all the people with him are his dead family members he was making up. Witch trials in the past, demonic forces connecting the characters for some mysterious reason, the very characters themselves. None of it was real. None of it. It was just this dude. He was just wandering around talking to himself for 8 hours. That's what you were doing this whole time, gamer. Don't you feel fulfilled? Sorry, I guess I'm still irritated about that one. Moving on the opposite side of this spectrum, you have movies such as Shutter Island or The Sixth Sense. Sure, the rug pull is there at the end, and as such, it recontextualizes things throughout everything that you had just watched. However, the difference in quality lies in that recontextualization. How much more enriched does the story become upon the revelation? How much can you pick up on a second or third watch that was there the entire time, but not meant for you to notice the first time around? Yes, this heightens the value of a rewatch, but it also creates a rather unique aura, for lack of a better term. Your first watch through is a special one, and one that you'll never experience again. Watching through either of these movies a second time allows you to see these tinier aspects that build towards the final reveal, and as such, it could be said that it transforms it into a completely different story. And the story that you saw the first time, you will never see again. You will never see the movie through the lens of the main character again, and within that inability of preservation comes a certain value that is unique to the story at hand. Does this hold true for the uninvited? No, it doesn't. Because instead of providing a focus on making sure both stories get told, only one side is shown, and that side is simply ripped away through a cheap rug pull at the end that tells us that we cannot trust our lying eyes. I didn't see this coming, and what's more, there's no possibility that I could see it coming. Yeah, bravo, filmmakers, you got me. Guess we can all go home now. And here we stand before the story presented to us by A Creature Was Stirring. And I ask of you, dear viewer, how the hell does this twist make any sense whatsoever? How and why did Charm make a drawing about the exact circumstance of her death, even though she could have no possible way of knowing that that was what was going to happen? Hidden on the wall underneath all of her porcupine drawings so that her mother could see it before getting scolded at with, "No, Mom, no, that's for later. Don't look at that yet." So A, why is it there? B, why did Charm draw it? And C, why is this the thing that snaps the mother out of her stupid delusion and lets her know that her daughter is dead in a bush across the street? Final verdict. This drawing makes no sense, and because of that, your movie makes even less sense than it did originally. Your twist is bad. Also, now that we know that Charm wasn't a porcupine monster, I can start making all these other criticisms that I've been biting my tongue on. Was Faith actually just feeding antifreeze to her daughter? Was that actually going on, or was that just part of the delusion that I'm supposed to be inferring now? I don't have to tell anybody this. I know. But antifreeze is bad for you guys. That's one of the things that you aren't supposed to be drinking. And truth be told, Charm was never really acting like someone who was drinking it. And by that I mean she was alive throughout the duration of the movie. Come to think of it, she didn't really act like she was on very many drugs at all throughout the course of the film. A first-time viewer would attribute that to the fact that she's a porcupine demon. But now we know that wasn't the case. And as such, I ask of thee, what the actual hell? We know, at the very least, this lunatic was giving her daughter methadone and antifreeze with the intention of overdosing her on the former. She had a seizure at the dinner table, yes, but honestly, that should have just been her from the very beginning of the film. Keep in mind she was doing this while also trying to keep her at 102-degree fever. A 102-degree fever, dear viewer. Having a fever at all on methadone is something you're supposed to call a doctor over. Charm here had one seizure that lasted about 30 seconds, and that is the complete extent to the side effects of whatever the hell her mother was giving her. You know, aside from the poison. Can't be forgetting the straight-up insta-death poison she was drinking. Oh, irrefutable internet. What do you do if you accidentally eat a small amount of coolant? Oh, call your local emergency number such as 911 or the local poison control center that can be reached directly by calling the National Toll-Free Poison Help Hotline?
I'll be damned.
Final verdict. Charm wasn't actually a porcupine demon. And because of that, your movie makes even less sense than it did originally. Your twist is bad. Corey and Liz. Corey and Liz didn't exist. They were never there. Faith was playing make-believe the whole time. Allow me to explain why this is stupid. When Corey and Liz broke into the house at the very beginning of the movie, it caused a sound that both Faith and Charm reacted to. Why is that, dear viewer? Why is that? Did that sound actually happen? Was their window actually broken? Why, yes. It was, because that's how Charm was escaping in the flashback. I guess the window just broke itself. You know, these things happen. There was a blizzard. Snow can be heavy and blunt, I suppose. It's all perfectly explainable, dear viewer. It just so happened that it took place right before Faith decided to go into Looney Tunes fairy tale land. So instead, let's focus on inquiring on why the absolute hell did Charm play along with her mother while she was pretending to be these other people. She carried on full expository conversations with these other characters, when in reality, it was just her mom hiding behind a coat rack. And she was invested in these conversations, let me tell you. Obviously, Faith would be aware of the porcupine origin story, unless that didn't happen either. I don't even know at this point. So why did Charm explain it to her in such vivid detail after going over her disdain of porcupines? I suppose I could do a little bit of reaching here and say that this has probably happened before, and maybe Faith gets violent if Charm doesn't play along. But if that's the case, you'd think that Charm would be a little bit more on edge when she finds out that her mother is hiding in her closet pretending to be someone else, instead of just the general irritation that she portrays throughout the entire movie. We also have this bit to take into consideration.
Guess it's showtime.
Faith called Charm from the bottom of the stairs to tell her that dinner was ready, even though she was hiding in the closet pretending to be Corey. So what was actually happening in that situation, and why did Charm react to it the way that she did? Was her mother just calling to her from the closet, "Dinner's ready, sweetheart," and then Charm knew she then had to switch on which part she was pretending to react to? In addition to this, we also have multiple scenes where Corey and Liz are alone, either in their own dedicated scenes or interacting with each other when no one else is around. Obviously, these scenes are massively cheapened by the context that is just Faith laying in her bed touching herself to Green Lantern comics, and it begs the question of why are they even here in the first place? If your entire rug pull is designed to turn the story into a guilt and drug use metaphor, then what is the point of Corey and Liz debating each other whether or not they should intervene with the porcupine demon containment? If they are nothing but manifests of Faith's guilt, then why did the movie not treat them as such? I mean, sure, you had Liz shouting at one point, "You should feel guilty about something. What is it?" But these characters are treated as outside forces from the beginning, with no connection to Faith or charm to speak of. For how much insane amounts of dialogue there are, we get absolutely no interactions between Faith and these other people to indicate that they have any meaning to her whatsoever. The implication we're being given is that Corey is Charm's father, but this is not indicated to us in any fashion whatsoever until that final rug pull. The only thing that even comes close is Corey talking to the porcupine in the kitchen about his semen. Which, yes, thank you for that, by the way. That's something I wanted to write down and talk about. The question has swirled in the air since the beginning of this video. Why did Faith let these idiots stay in her house? And this question is never answered. It's never hinted to. It's never even given a throwaway line, despite the fact that there are massive implications and necessary context to the answer. They are merely here, and they are merely here to contribute to a story that is not even real within the confines of its own universe. Why did we have the conversations with Liz and Corey? Why did we have the demon scene in the kitchen? Why did we have Charm playing along with this in every instance, even going as far at one point to turn on the heat so she could pretend to become a monster in front of her delusional mother who was poisoning her? The answer, dear viewer, is because it was a porcupine horror movie at that point. This is not a movie capable of carrying two stories on its back. It is a movie that tells you one story before telling you that it told you a different one at the very end. Final verdict. Liz and Corey didn't exist. And because of that, your movie makes even less sense than it did originally. Your twist is bad. And you should feel bad.
Cool. What a waste of fucking time. Somebody jerking themselves off because they thought they had an awakening when they realized that doing heroin every weekend wasn't a good idea. Like, most of this shit was just stuff happening. And it's like, oh, but there was twist. It's like, dude, yeah, but there was not really any actual hint. It's like that one movie we watched where it changes the scenes in the flashback where, oh, she wasn't actually there. And it changes the dialogue in it.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, you thought you did something.
Yes, I know what movie you're talking about.
There's no shot this girl lived to this age under that.
I don't think she might not have started doing it until recently. Maybe. Her mom had a psychotic episode that started whenever. I mean, it can start whenever, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she's been a junkie since 1998.
Yeah, that's true. And
like how she got that house, how she got that kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's all not real either.
Yeah.
You know, none of this is real. It's all bullshit.
This is the projects.
Yeah. And that's her dog.
Yeah.
Well, I do say, I think we've made it to the end of another video. Always a good time when I can clap the old hands together and confidently say we conquered another one. I wasn't kidding when I said that this has been a very long time coming. I first discovered this movie on December 26th of 2023, and immediately knew that I would be a heathen if I didn't make it a Christmas video. As such, I allowed myself to tease it an entire year in advance and have been working on it on and off since then. But we finally made it, and we finally got through it. And to those of you who stuck around to this point, I thank you dearly. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have the merriest of Merry Christmases. Thank you all, and as always, stay well.